Hello guys, welcome back. Last time, we took out Bomb Man, along with everybody else. Let's go Fireman. Let's start. For this one, I don't think it's gonna take a lot of guessing to figure out what Fireman's weakness is. I got a pretty good feeling I know what it is. Maybe it's just me. Possibly. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay, or maybe I should have been just a bit more careful. I haven't heard too much. I've heard that it's supposed to be apparently a short level, but also pretty hard. And that's not necessarily a good sign, but assuming I can master it, it should be pretty fine. Actually, I was thinking more about, an interesting discussion is, how do you think these games have aged? Because Mega Man, obviously, Jesus. They released the Legacy Collections for Mega Man and then Mega Man X as well. I'm not quite sure what people think of them, because obviously they're quite old, they're quite difficult, and they're somewhat different from a lot of games. They're well established. But for a lot of people, they'll never have played any of the original Mega Mans. Or even some of the new ones, either. It's interesting, especially for NES games. I've heard some people talk about the NES Classic and its nostalgia, but it's not, the games on them haven't held up as well as they should have. I think some of them have, maybe some of them haven't. I can see where one or two might not have done so well. But I think overall, the not Mega Man, the NES, a lot of the games do hold up decently well. Ooh. Maybe it's just me. But it's an interesting discussion. Because, well, I don't know why, but I like NES games. I've been playing sorry. I have been playing NES games for a decent amount of time. I like, I still like collecting games, but I don't have any money. I'm a college student. But all my change, I used to go buying old systems if I had a chance, or some games specifically. Like, I couldn't have, oh man. If I couldn't, obviously I didn't have that many systems, because those were expensive. I would buy games though, and I used to have like this one for all system. You could probably buy them at like game stores just to play them. For me, it wasn't about buying the system and collecting it, although I liked collecting systems as well. I wanted to be able to play the games on them. Some of them I didn't have much exposure to. There's not that many enemies, but I'm still switching over. I think it's curious if I can. Yes, I can shoot those. Can they die? Oh. That's interesting. Okay, they don't stay frozen forever, but that's really cool. Alright. That's interesting. I'm thinking about, you can change the, I guess it's not an environment, technically it counts as an enemy, but what, changing the environment in Mega Man? It's a cool concept. Can I shoot these as well? No, or maybe I'm missing. No, I'm not missing. One, and one, and one, and one, and one. How are you supposed to get over there? I can't go fast enough. Jumping? Maybe, no, I still don't go faster. It's a dumb decision. I don't even know why I tried that, but... Ooh, they blow up when you hit them. That's not good. But anyways, I just... I don't know. I like old games. Not because they're old, but because they're good. They're well established. In modern games, you don't know what's good or bad because they're still coming out. You might be the first couple people to play them, you play them right when they come out, and they might be good, they might be bad. In older games, you know they're established, you know they're good. It's kind of interesting. I mean, that's not why I chose to collect old games, they're fascinating. They're interesting, and they're still fun. There's a lot of really good old games. Which, I don't think that's much of a surprise to anybody. If you're watching this, you probably do enjoy old games just like I do. I'm calling them old because, well, I guess they are. To me, they don't seem that bad, but I'm used to them. I have been playing these games. Oh, jeez. Alright. We haven't been doing too bad so far. Yeah, I was saying, I'll call them old, but I've been actually, to be honest, I've been playing these games since I was a kid, which is funny. I mean, my dad had all these games, and he showed them to me. It's not like I didn't play newer games as a kid either, but just my dad wanted to show these to me. I liked them, of course. What do you expect? I'm a video game nerd. but it's interesting. I don't know, I think NES games hold up a lot better than some people seem to think. For the people who really tried to make a good game, I think they achieved that, because after all, I mean, they did the best they could under limitations, and limitations kind of bring out the best in people usually. In terms of games, at least. You're limited in what you can do, so you have to make do with what you can, make it the best as possible. And I like that. I think it's really nice. I mean, that just makes me think, actually, not about NES games, but game collecting. I wish I could keep up with that. It's just expensive. I'm sure you guys know. Some of you might. But video games are expensive. Game systems are expensive. I guess as a kid, I didn't collect them as in terms of what, like, anything specific, or getting the most rare games possible. I just collected games because I liked the games. Or I wanted to play them, or I had a cool system, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. Which is alright, I don't think that's a bad way of collecting, is it? Although, now I know a kind of bit more about what I should be getting, stuff that I now things... Jesus. I'm becoming illiterate while I'm trying to play games and talk at the same time. I kind of have a better idea of what I want to play, if that makes any sense. But I do have a decent amount. And talking about systems, I don't have a lot of... Funnily enough, I don't have Nintendo consoles. They were always expensive when I got them. But I have a lot of Sega consoles, which is ironic since I don't play a lot of Sega games. I don't even own a lot of Sega games to play on those systems. But, as it is, I do have a lot of Sega systems, which I do find very funny. I got a Sega Genesis. No, I don't. Ironic, I don't have a Sega Genesis. I have a Sega Master System. Let's see, a Sega Saturn. And a Sega Dreamcast. Do I have any more? I thought I had a... No, I don't. I thought I had a Genesis, but I have something that can play Genesis games. It's funny. I haven't played many Sega games. And I know there's a ton out there. Oh, come on. Jeez. Yeah, this isn't going very well. I'm sorry, guys. But it's interesting, because I know there are a lot of either cult classics or a lot of just good games in these Sega systems that I haven't played. Even with the Sega consoles, I just don't have as... I don't have as... It's hard to speak right now for some reason. I need water. I don't have as... I don't have as much experience playing those games. Or even hearing about them or seeing people play them. I've always been such a Nintendo fan. I watch people play Nintendo games. Or I talk about Nintendo games with people who have played them as well. And I know there are people who have definitely played these games. Games like Gunstar Heroes or... Oof. Or Rystar. Or even just Sonic games. I'm just not experienced enough. And this is really hard. I mean, I guess it's not hard. There's just no mercy. It's not even that many enemies. It's just platforming. No mercy. But it's interesting. I want to get more into Sega games. I've been reading, there's a book, what is it, Console Wars, which is about the big Sega Nintendo thing back in the day. I wanted to get it. I mean, books. I like books. I like reading. I'm a big book nerd. But obviously, I gotta go buy... God! Jesus! I might as well just die up here. Ah, jeez. Here, just... I'm not even gonna... I'm just gonna get a reset. But, yeah, it's interesting. I have a lot of Sega systems, I mentioned. For Nintendo's and Nintendo, I don't really have a lot of classic Nintendo systems. I do have... I used to have a lot of consoles. I used to have a original Game Boy. But it broke. I had a Game Boy Color. I still have a Game Boy Color. It has the backing missing. I always had a Game Boy Advance. I just had that since I was a little kid. Then a DS... A DS. DS Lite? No, I have a DS, sorry. I used to have a DS Lite. My dad sold it. And then I acquired a newer one, Zelda Edition DS Lite. And then, of course, a DSi. 3DS. And 3DS XL. I like handhelds. I mentioned this before, where I think handhelds might be my favorite kind of games, like, or game system or way to play games. Which is interesting. I feel like some people might not agree with me on that, but you forget how many quality games came out on Game Boy Advance. I mentioned this before, haven't I? But I really, really do love the Game Boy Advance, even if I didn't have all the best games. I had some. But really, I like collecting games when I had a chance. Like, after N64. Oh, I forgot the N64. That's one thing I had to mention. Because it's so beloved to my heart. So I had to buy one. I got it for like $20 at a flea market. Now the power system's faulty, so it keeps resetting. every like, it could be a couple seconds in between, or it could be like a couple minutes. Maybe I'll get through a game and like, man, it's fixed. And no, it just freezes again and restarts, and all my stuff is lost. It's really infuriating. So I need to get a new N64 or somehow get that one fixed, which kind of sucks. Because I can't play, like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie, I can't play Ocarina of Time. I can't play Castlevania 64. Which is a shame, I know. But it's fine. Oops. It's interesting. I still like it a lot. Of course, me getting, like, I remember getting a Majora's Mask and then realizing I didn't have the expansion card, the extra memory, and I just couldn't play it. And I was like, Jesus, I was so excited to play Majora's Mask for the first time, and I didn't even, god damn it, and I couldn't even play it because I didn't have the expansion pack, and it was, jeez, bad. I know, it's funny. I guess my first systems that I remember, like fondly, I guess, were like the Game Boy Advance and the N64, which is interesting. I own the Game Boy Advance, or it was my dad's, I guess, but I used it more than he did. And the N64 was actually at daycare. Yeah, I was a very tiny little boy, you know, coming home after elementary school, or even during pre-K, I think, as well. I remember wanting to play it, but I was a bit young. But yeah, that was it for me. Oh, Jesus. I love the N64, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. This is my start into video games, and I love video games. But, I mean, I always forget, there were some very good games. Some not as good games, but some very good ones. And I played most of the good ones, because that was what we had at daycare. And if you're asking why, I mean, I wasn't born in the year of the N64 or whatever, but it was just, that's what we daycare had. Can you actually make it at that speed? I feel like it's just... I'm also not timing it very well, being honest, but still. But yeah, I like the N64. I mentioned about my platformer love recently, but of course I haven't always played platformers. Okay, good. But yeah, but that in the Game Boy Advance, and it's interesting because we had a GameCube, but I think I might have been too little to really enjoy it as I should have, which is kind of funny. But besides that, I mostly remember playing them a bit afterwards, but I do remember playing some. And once again, I had some pretty good games. Not all of them. Like, I had Luigi's Mansion, I had Kirby's Air Ride, I had Smash Bros. Melee, and I know I had a couple others. An assorted few. Jeez. Of course, I do remember I wasn't very good at any of them, which is to be expected when you're a little kid. Not really the master of games yet, are you? But I had a good time. Some of them were really memorable for me. You know, my foundation years of gaming. It's nice. It's funny, for the Game Boy Advance, I remember I didn't have any good games. Those came afterwards. That's when I was starting to collect games. I remember going to this shop. Also, because my love for the Legend of Zelda series started with, oof. We're not doing it this run, are we? Well, maybe. I know his weakness. It's kind of, like I said, it's easy just to guess what Fireman's weakness is. No, but my love for the my love for the Legend of Zelda series came with Ocarina of Time. But it made me want to go back and play older games, as you expect. I didn't own that many. I remember spending a lot of time on the internet playing really crappy Zelda Flash games. I played a lot of Flash games back in the day as well. I like Flash games. Oof, here we go. Fireman. Actually, let me try taking you out. No, I only got one health. I only got one health, don't I? Let's see. Actually, come on. Boom. I knew it. Easy to take out Fireman with Iceman. Let's check. I won't be able to finish my conversation. But I like Flash games, but... yeah, I decided to collect Zelda games. Old ones, because I wanted to be able to play them after my favorite game at the time, Ocarina of Time. Interesting. Well, guys, we defeated Fireman. Fantastic. Wasn't too bad. Short level, easy boss, although I knew how to beat him, so I mean, you know, maybe he's a lot harder, I don't know. But, that's 5 done. Next time, we'll be facing a Megaman. Alright, see you guys then. Goodbye.